Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Malifaux, and tonight we danced to the pipes. Yanlo versus Hamelin, my first Hamelin game. I know he's got a reputation for turning up in tournaments, so I'm interested to see how he plays. For terrain we've got forests, impassable blocking hardcover buildings, height infinity, height to climbable hazardous terrain railings, severe terrain, ruins with hardcover blocking impassable columns, hardcover blocking impassable, another column, wall, height 1, severe, soft cover, climbable, that kind of thing, and some more hardcover blocking and hazardous railings. My opponent has got a Wukal Raider, a Stolen, Hamelin, with the Piper, the Tools of the Tyrant, and Sewer King. Ashes and Dust, a Kruligan, an Obedient Wretch, a Librarian, with Scout the Field, and 2 Malifaux Rats. I've brought a Rotten Bell, Izamu with Unnerving Aura, the Carrion Emissary with Ancestral Conflux, Soul Porter, Yin with Unnerving Aura, Yanlo with Brutal Kakara, Reliquary, and Unnerving Aura, and finally a Goryo. The scheme pool is pretty limited in what I want to take. I'm anticipating there being a lot of rats, which will block my ability to place markers, and virtually all of his crew can sacrifice itself, so I don't really fancy my chances with accusation, so that leaves us with Hunting Party. Pretty easy, I feel, with all the enforcers I've got versus all his minions and peons. And then good old Frame for Murder, which I'm putting on the Goryo, because Izamu is just too damn obvious. So the plan is sit in the middle, lightning dance things into my overlapping unnerving auras. Hopefully he will struggle to kill my guys until Bleeding Disease racks up, and then I can bring most of them back to start it all over again. Let's see how we do. First turn, a rat just walks. Goryo summons a Sation and walks up to the wall. Obedient Wretch throws rats at the Kruligan, failing one of the summons by the looks of things. Hamelin moves around the back of the building so he can obey the Wretch to throw more rats, and then summons a Stolen. I actually quite like Hamelin being back here. It really limits his offensive play potential in turn 2, but it's certainly safer for my opponent to do than walking around in front of the building close to my crew, and I feel flank deployment is to my advantage, as from the looks of things it looks like Hamelin likes to have space on the first turn. So rats are activating, I'm just moving my crew up conservatively together. I've got the Carrion Emissary's shards up here, just in case Ashes and Dust decides to get a bit tricky. I'm pretty sure he's out of range. But just in case, I'm protecting Yanlo, and I'm also preparing the spot for a zombie next turn. Help me gum up this area and get Yanlo a nice little chi body should something decide to kill it. The Emissary, I should note, is so good in Hunting Party because he can really control how many peons I have and where they are. Soul Porter and the Bell, I've just been moving Izamu up. I'm leaving him to last to threaten my opponent, just to try to control where he can move. The Librarian has healed the Kruligan, and the Kruligan's moved up to here. And my opponent tries to bait me by moving the Wukal Raider up over here, trying to draw Izamu in where he'll get beaten on by the rest of the team. I won't be able to cheat damage flips against the Wukal Raider, so this is not something I'm particularly a fan of. So Izamu plays coy and hangs back here, I think going defensive. The rats form a Rat King, so we've got another activation. The Stolen becomes 2 more rats, 2 more activations, and we end the first turn like this. It's a bit of a stalemate, with Izamu and Ashes and Dust staring each other down. Turn 2, I kept my good cards, and filtered the rest. I really should play Guild, look at all those rams. My opponent gets the initiative and dicks around with rats, but 2 can play at that game and I dick around with my zombie. The Soul Porter's moved out over here just to be a bit more central and protected. I want him to be able to farm chi off rats, but I don't want him to put him in harm's way just yet, and he moves Izamu up forwards. I think my opponent positioned so as to be just outside of Izamu's charge range with Ashes and Dust, and I've now dinked him in, and also coincidentally within charge range of the Kruligan. What I want to do here is use the Bell early to pull in particularly the Wretch. I don't want her just casting more rats around this turn, so I want to pull in the Wretch But the way my opponent's positioned means that I pretty much can't do it, because I can't pull her forwards. The wall slows her enough that she can't actually place this side of the wall. So she'd either end up behind these guys or, I don't know, running over behind the Rat King, and it's basically just a waste of my AP. And positioning like this isn't something I'd really considered before as a good defense against lures, and I'm definitely going to have to take note. This was good positioning. Ashes and Dust gets greedy and charges Izamu, and I've got to say, Izamu was on fucking fire this game. He flipped pretty much nothing but severes this entire game, so he's supposed to be defense 4, I was flipping like he was defense 7. It was actually ridiculous. So Ashes and Dust ends up doing very little damage to Izamu. Thank you, Armor 2. I go with Yanlo, he walks up, Lightning Dances the Kruligan and puts it next to Izamu, and then Lightning Dances back to Ashes and Dust, placing it next to the Goyo. This is fantastic. Ashes and Dust is my opponent's only real threat, or at least physical threat, at this point in the game. And he's now right behind my lines, engaged with a fairly tough model, who I want him to kill anyway. So he's either going to waste AP attacking the Goyo, or waste AP walking around taking damage from the fence, trying to get back into scoring zone. Yanlo is a little exposed, but this has really positioned things nicely for me. The Wukao then charges Izamu, who's a bit surprised he didn't go for Yanlo. Izamu flips like a total boss and takes very little damage, and then he swats the Kruligan, scoring me Hunting Party, and then stabs the Wukao a bit. I'm not sure if I even hit. That no cheating thing is really good. Stolen becomes more rats. Rat King attacks Yanlo, doing a little bit of damage, but blighted him. Bell attempts to lure him away, but he gets stuck in this freaking gap. Get out of the way, zombie! But at least it does pull him out of 1 inch engagement with Yanlo. Yin and the Carrion Emissary destroy the Rat King, not worried that there won't be more hunting party targets around. And it means Hamelin is now struggling to get significant minions or significant models into the central scoring area. And we end the turn like this. I think my opponent is just shy of 6 inches with his Librarian and Rat King. It was very close, but I think he was just out. Most of Hamelin's activation was walking around here, which was excellent, although another Stolen has joined us, and I quite like how things are shaping up. Turn 3, a more modest hand. I get the initiative, and wanting to thin out some of his significant models, score points, and not waste my time with this uncheatable Wukao Raider, I walk Izamu up, smack the rat with Melee Expert, scoring Hunting Party, and then attack the Librarian, doing a little bit of damage probably. Another Rat King throws itself at Yanlo and ends up with like 5 blighted condition. Because the damage has been so pitiful, I haven't been bothering to Soulstone, which I really should have been. That's such a rookie error, and so yeah, I've got like 6 or 7 wounds left and 5 blighted, and staring in the face of the Obedient Wretch and some Stolen, and Hamelin himself, who can all make use of that. So it's pretty clear I've got to do something with Yanlo. I've got Spirit Ascendant in the first turn, Ash Ascendant in the second turn, and all the death has put me back up onto 2 chi. So I've got the choice. Do I want to suicide Yan in, try to take out these guys and go down in a blaze of glory, or do I want to try to get him out of there? I decide that discretion is the better part of valor, and so I drop a card to gain some chi, up to 3 chi, and then 0 action to ascend to Bone Ascendant. And then teleport 8 inches out this way, and then walk to where you see here. This was super annoying because I really wanted to spend this turn on a big triple Transcendence and then Fury of Yomi to put these guys up on armor and get there and attack the Rat King and maybe the Wukao to really solidify the center, but I couldn't risk it. Ashes spends all his AP killing the Goyo and scores me 2 points for Frame for Murder. Yin and the Bell kill the Librarian and score him 2 points for Frame for Murder. Damn it! That was sneaky. Well played, sir. Oh, that was it. He cheated down on my last strike with the Yin, and I didn't have a card low enough to lose the duel. So yeah, that was really funny. Hamelin comes up, lures Ashes and Dust back towards relevance, summons a Stolen, and then obeys my Carrion Emissary to attack Yanlo. doing some more damage, which my juiceless soul stones are pretty shitty at preventing. Carrying goes, and this really made me have to think. So I can't kill Ashes and Dust, which I really want to, and he's really badly damaged. The Goyo did a little bit of damage. He took a severe damage when he got lured through these railings. But if I kill him, he'll split, and I'll get a Dust Storm right in Yanlo's face, and I really don't want that. But on the other hand, that means I've got to keep him here, which means he's either... Well, I've got to try to keep him engaged so he can't go off and kill stuff, but that means feeding him my peons, which will score points for his hunting party. I could use the emissary to turn this guy into a scheme marker, and I could use the Soul Porter's sacrifice ability to get rid of him. I put down the shards here to give me a bit of control over that decision, but in the end I decide I'm just going to soften up the Rat King and farm chi off him with the Soul Porter, giving it to the emissary. At the end of the turn things look like this. My opponent scores 4 extraction and I do 2. I think we're drawing, so the extraction marker doesn't move, and yes, I did forget to move it the first turn when I won. And I do decide to have the zombie, because more zombies equals more chi. It allows me to control Ashes and Dust better, and I'm pretty sure he's going to score a hunting party this turn anyway. Turn 4, oh hell yes, nice hand. Seriously, my cards were on fire this game. Hamelin gets initiative, he obeys the Ashes and Dust to kill my zombie and gets a point, summons another kitty, and I forget what else, he might have tried to obey the carrion emissary again. Izamu goes, killing the Rat King, scoring me my 3rd point for hunting party, but then finally goes down to the Wukao Raider. The carrion emissary does an amazing job for me this turn, so I've lowered my destiny by 2 and summon an Ashigaru. I've forgotten to pack any of my 6-stone models, so an Ashigaru is going to have to do. And then focus and blast on one of the rats. Basically, yeah, kill the rat, kill all the stolen, blast onto Hamelin, and there are some rats summoned from the stolen. And none of my guys are paralysed. Just brilliant. Seeing she's not needed anymore, my bell runs off for the hills. Yin whistles away at the Wukao Raider, and then Yanlo gets back into the fray. He double walks to get into range of the corpse marker that was left by this mindless zombie. I could have used this one, but I wanted the one with a better position, so I've double walked and resummon Izamu, and then heal him some damage. Mwahaha! I've got no cards left in my hand by this point, so I figure, well, you know, if I can't cheat anyway, why not hit the Wukao Raider? And Izamu just frickin' pulls it out of the box and absolutely destroys the thing. Things are looking pretty good. I don't want to kill the Ashes and Dust, so my Ashigaru just goes defensive. Turn 5, again a really good hand. My opponent gets the initiative, and my defensive Ashigaru just holds his own against Ashes and Dust. Ashes and Dust does Black Joker one of the damage flips, and yeah, I think my Ashigaru only takes like 2 damage from this. It was just, yeah, not good for my opponent. But now you've pissed Yanlo off, so he lightning dances in, kills the rat, does severe damage to Hamelin, whacks him again, and Hamelin's now out of stones and on like 3 damage left. No children to hide behind now, bastard. But Hamelin's not done. I think he obeys Izamu to kill Ashes and Dust, which was just a great move. So now he's got Ashen Core here trying to finish off the Ashigaru. And the Dust Storm is coming after my Bell. Bell goes defensive and tries to run away, hoping to get around this forest so as the Dust Storm can't charge her, but she fails to escape. But the defensive was what she needed, and she survives the Dust Storm's advances. Back in the centre, my defensive Ashigaru has no problem surviving the duels from the Ashen Core. Oh, and I should mention, I think Hamelin failed to summon his stolen, and somehow made it out of combat with Yanlo to hide around here. Pretty ballsy given that Yanlo does damage on disengaging strikes. And the carrion emissary swats him. And that, my friends, is how we end the game. Final scores. Outcasts get 3 points for extraction. I was wrong, I think. The Rat King must have been in scoring range here on turn 2. 2 points for frame for murder and 2 points for hunting party. Resurrectionists scored 4 points for extraction, 2 points for frame for murder, and 3 points for hunting party, making this game 9-7 to Yanlo. Close game, Yanlo getting that blighted without having condition removal really scuppered my plans in the mid-game. And Hamelin's obeys and lures were really powerful. I think I was lucky he didn't use them to walk my guys away from the centre more. But yeah, pretty happy with that. The lightning dancing was amazing. Really set up the game. It's so important, I think, as a part of Yanlo's playstyle to get the matchups that you want. You know, Ashen Dust, the big beater, I want him to kill Goryo. He's over here killing the Goryo, doing nothing else for that turn. I'm worried about the Kruligan going off and scoring claim jump or some marker dropping scheme out wide. I want him next to Izamu. He's next to Izamu. Izamu kills him. The Emissary's blast attack was amazing, and bringing Izamu back and Humpo assaulting was just dirty. So yeah, fun game. Many thanks to my opponent, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.